Hi, welcome to the Chapter 1 overview of Thinking Collaboratively, Learning in a Community Inquiry. Please be sure to run a audio test and a video test, making sure your camera and microphone are set up. That way we can move through the lesson as smoothly and seamlessly as possible. Please be sure to also expand the attendees panel, as well as selecting the chat button in the lower right-hand corner. That way you can follow. Yeah. Also, remove all distractions. So turn off your phone, shut your door, do not disturb sign up if you must. Please give this lesson fully undivided attention. We can do a quick quality check. Let's make sure that everything's set up correctly. If you can see the record up in the upper left-hand corner, please raise your hand. Perfect. Lower your hand. If you can see quality check at the top, please raise your hand. Perfect. Lower your hand. And if you can hear me adequately, please raise your hand. Great. Lower your hand. Again, this is an overview of Chapter 1 from the textbook, all over Thinking Collaboratively. By the end of this overview, participants should be able to explain the difference between collective thinking and thinking collaboratively. Participants will be able to demonstrate 3 situations where thinking collaboratively is better than individualistic thinking. And participants will be able to identify the cognitive fallacies that thinking collaboratively overcomes. Please, for introductions, say your name, state your profession, and name a time where you worked with another to solve a problem. For all of my virtual listeners, please be sure to record all of your responses as we go through this lesson and email them to me afterwards. That way I can ensure that you get all of your points. So thinking collaboratively can confuse some because we all have our own way of thinking. However, like many of the other aspects of being human, thinking can be social. And when we think collaboratively, we actually are doing benefit to ourselves because we can avoid some of the pitfalls and fallacies that thinking individually we tend to run into. Thinking is very much shaped by our own experiences and biases. So having someone else there to bounce those ideas off of and to work through those helps us achieve a solution or learn the lesson faster. A clearer definition is that learning or thinking collaboratively is an approach to learning that relies on thinking creatively and critically while maintaining engagement with the content and other learners. And again, by engaging with those other learners, we can really avoid those pitfalls and fallacies. And now it's even easier because technology has made it so much easier and more efficient for people to think collaboratively. You can be on the other side of the world and have a video call. You can be working on the same documents at the same time and see who's changing what. Technology has really pushed us forward in terms of being able to collaborate in numerous ways. Distance becomes not an issue. Time becomes less of an issue. So actually, I would like for everyone to identify 2 ways that technology has changed how people think collaboratively. And again, virtual students, please make sure to record these answers and email them to me afterwards. Some may get confused with the difference between collective thinking and collaborative thinking. They are actually very, very different. And to be completely honest, they are opposites. Collective thinking, also known as groupthink, differs, opposes thinking collaboratively because the individual does not think creatively or critically, or for themselves for that matter. Also, there is no discourse or debate or discussion in order to bounce these ideas off one another. This is why thinking collaboratively can be a big help. It does require the person to take the time, formulate their own thoughts, and then put their thoughts up against their peers to come to a solution or to find a way to progress. So let me actually open up a poll. So being a part of a political party, voting along party lines, would that be collective thinking or collaborative thinking? We'll go with 1 for collective and 2 for collaborative. So it's actually a bit of a trick question. If you are going along with party lines and you're just doing as everyone says, then yes, that is collective thought. But if you are actively engaging in the debates and you're actively engaging with others after forming your own opinions, then you're actually thinking collaboratively. So collaborative thinking has actually led to advancements in fields of medicine, technology, and more. There are certain fields of studies and professions where thinking collaboratively is much more of the norm and has shown to be hugely beneficial. I actually like everyone to identify 3 professions or fields of study that require high amounts of collaborative thinking. Again, some are, it's very normal to some fields for there to be lots of collaborative thinking as compared to others, where if you're a plumber, you might not do a lot of collaborative thinking. You might spend a lot of time working by yourself. We also have all had a time where we've had to think collaboratively, whether it was a school project or you work in a pod at your job. I would actually like everyone to write a paragraph reflecting on a time where they had to think collectively as a part of their job. And if you do have a job where you mostly are alone or you don't think there is an that you can think of, tell me about a time that you had to go to a conference or any time that you met with other professionals that do what you do and came upon a new solution or a new innovation. In summation, thinking collaboratively is a learning approach that relies heavily on creative and critical thinking through discourse and debate with others, challenging your ideas against someone else's in order to root out any misconceptions or fallacies that we experience when being individual thinkers. Thinking collaboratively has become much easier with the advent of technology, and how the more technology advances, the more we find ways to collaborate over great distances using our different devices. And thinking collaboratively has become a norm in many fields, in many different industries. We see it in Facebook and Google, where thinking collaboratively is the norm, and that's how we continue to progress our technology. We continue to advance in medicine. So I would like everyone to actually research an invention, innovation, discovery, etc., made by multiple people, and explain how it is an example of collaborative thinking. Again, there are some professions where that's not possible, or there are times that two people have made a discovery at roughly the same time, but on opposite sides of the planet without ever talking to each other. So, but there are many examples where people together to find a solution or create something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And again, make sure that if you are a virtual listener, you record all your answers and email them to me to get all of your points. Thank you.